Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars, and thank you for watching. My name is Steve Gray. So today we are talking about guitar sales surprisingly rising in the UK. With everything going on, you would think not a lot of people have a lot of money to purchase stuff, but keep in mind guitars are priced kind of all over the place. So, you can get a starter pack for like $100, acoustic or electric, a little amp with it, some chord charts and such. And it can go, the sky's the limit. I mean, there's $50,000 guitars out there that are covered in diamonds and jewels and such. You're sitting at home all day, you're bored, you got nothing to do. This particular article relates to the UK, but upon looking into it, it seems either pretty steady or even increased in a lot of areas guitar sales. And basically, as I said, if you're sitting at home kind of doing nothing with your time, you're working from home, taking care of the kids, doing what you do, looking for something to do because you can't go out with your friends, it's not a bad idea to pick up a guitar, bass, or any other instrument. As a matter of fact, acquire a new hobby, pay a couple $100, get a halfway decent instrument. Don't get into it for too much because obviously you're not going to know if you like it or not, but I can definitely see a lot of people picking up an electric or acoustic guitar during this pandemic. So let's go ahead and kind of read/break down the article, and we'll just go from there. So guitar sales are up as the UK gets accustomed to locking down measures. And so Gear4Music reports an 80% increase in sales compared to last year. So about 5 months after the UK implemented its lockdown rules, sales of musical instruments, including guitars, have shot up, according to Gear4Music. The music retailer is reporting sales figure that eclipsed those in 2019. So basically, as the lockdown happened, not only guitars, because it does say musical instrument in general, so that's nice to see that a lot of people are out there in these times trying to better themselves with a new hobby or possibly a new way to make money if you do plan on gigging out at some point in time in a bar, arena, whatever you plan on doing, and picking it up and bettering themselves. Maybe they can connect it with on their kids or friends or relatives or whoever else. So per the BBC Gear4Music report, that the value of its UK sales has risen by 80% compared to similar periods last year of looks like 21.2 million euros. I don't know what that is compared to American. It's like $1 or $2 difference maybe. I don't 100% know what the exchange rate is, but we'll say somewhere between 25 and 30 million US if you are currently in the USA and watching this video. So Chief Executive of Gear4Music, Andrew Wass, attributed this rise in sales to an uptick in the amateur musicians and podcasters. The company's best sellers, electric and acoustic guitar starter bundles, microphones, and recording equipment. Ha! So that is definitely interesting to see there. So I have seen channels do this before. Especially with YouTube, some people do it on Twitch, make a podcast about it, whatever. And basically, it's an entire channel. I think Rachel, her name is Rachel, I'm forgetting her last name, but I know there's a woman on here named Rachel, and basically her entire channel is based around her getting interested in the guitar, learning how to play guitar, and her progress as she gets better. And I can definitely see a lot of people trying to do a similar thing, where they show how they start off. They buy all these recording equipments to maybe record different videos for YouTube. They're trying to make a few extra dollars that way, or Twitter, Twitch, and microphone-wise, it can literally be for anything. It can be video games, guitars, maybe you're reading some sort of poetry type thing, talking about a particular topic, reviewing things, who knows. It can literally be about anything while they're buying microphones, so I can definitely see a lot of people doing that. TikTok, big thing right now, so maybe they're buying some to make some high-quality TikTok videos. So people are interested in having a really good hobby that they can get into, he told BBC. Maybe they played music at school and have found themselves indoors and decided to come back to it. Including international sales, quarterly figures for Gear4Music were up by 68% year on year of about 37.3 million euros, probably 40 to 45, I'm guessing, million US dollars roughly. Yet again, not 100% sure what the conversion rate is there, just kind of ballparking it. Music retailers around the globe have adapted their businesses towards online sales in order to stay afloat amid the lockdown period. The same can't be said for music venues, whose doors have largely remained shut since March. So yeah, I mean, that is definitely a massive problem. So your big arenas, are not going to, your Madison Square Garden type places are not going to be able to open anytime soon, unfortunately. And basically, a lot of these musicians now, which are obviously the very famous people. You got your Foo Fighters, Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch. All of these kind of bands that have been around for a while, that are currently playing in stadiums. It's not going to happen in these big venues. It's not going to happen anytime soon because you have to social distance, and unfortunately you cannot have that many people at that one particular place at one particular time. So a lot of what they're doing now, which I think is perfectly fine, is they're doing interviews right now. They're doing like shows online on TV for benefit concerts to help, with, I think one was like to help with MS at one point, which is perfectly fine. They're trying to do their part to help everybody out in these times because a lot of those bands have been around for a while, and honestly, they don't need the money. They are more than well off. They can definitely maintain themselves by doing nothing for the rest of their lives if they so choose to, but they are deciding to try to help people out with their riches, which is definitely a good thing to see. And basically, this also hurts the little guys too. A lot, because you get your mom and pop shop, not your big corporation like Guitar Center, which we'll get to that in a moment. But basically, the issue with the mom and pop shops is they're completely closed. You can't have some random person coming in, touching all your gear, because the second they touch a guitar, you got to wipe the thing down completely, disinfect it, which if you're constantly doing that, it is a possibility you'll end up harming the finish of the guitar over time because you're constantly putting like alcohol or some sort of disinfectant on it after the person plays, or they're going to have to play with like some sort of gloves on. And if they want to play multiple different guitars to try to figure out what they like, then you got even more problems. Somebody like me, I'll buy a guitar online. I don't really have a problem doing it, but it is very 50-50. I'm either going to like it and try to sell it locally immediately, or I'll keep it for quite a while. So it's, you got to get a feel for it. I personally like going to a mom and pop shop, a Guitar Center type place, grabbing the guitar, playing it, and then deciding whether or not I want to buy it. I also like to noodle in Guitar Centers when I am at that general area, because usually the Guitar Centers are going to have a lot more inventory than your mom and pop shop. I don't know how many people Guitar Center can currently let in, but that's definitely an issue there where it's like, oh, I just want to go in there and doodle and I'm not going to probably buy anything. Maybe I'll buy some picks, a pack of strings, a cable here and there. But 9 out of 10, I'm not going to go in there to buy a guitar. Sometimes I do. I think I bought one guitar from Guitar Center ever. I'm usually going off the Craigslist, the Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Amazon once in a while too. You'll find something, kind of places like that. Let Go offer up all those different places. But, it's good to get a feel for it. And if you do find a guitar for a good price, like I think I found, that's what it was. I think it was an Ibanez Geo. It had Seymour Duncan pickups out of it. I think I bought it, swapped the pickups into something else, and then sold the Geo, and then ended up selling the guitar I swapped the pickups into anyway. But, sometimes you can find something like that where it's like an Ibanez Geo. They don't value in the pickups, so they're not going to charge you, $500 because they got Seymour Duncan pickups in it. They're going to charge you $300 of what the guitar is worth because it's not going to charge you more than what the guitar is worth was new, even with the upgrades. So it's definitely interesting to see there. So I'm going to finish. Let's finish the article here since we're on it. So, however, some, including WAS, are hopeful that the government's recent announcement of outdoor gigs making a return, as well as its 1.57 billion euro support package, could mark the start comeback of the UK's music industry. So this I completely agree with. But it's also going to be hard to do this. So I know where I am, some bars are allowing bands to come in there. Obviously, you can't get up and dance and be in a big group of people next to the band, as many people want to do. It's basically you have to stay in your spot, sit, and listen to the band. Some people are okay with that. I'm personally okay with that. Sometimes I'll get up and dance on a rare occasion, but usually it's got to be a pretty girl to entice me to come dance. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going up there and dancing and jamming out with my guy friends most of the time, unless it's like a mosh pit or something along those lines, which is not going to happen for a while because, social distancing. But I could definitely see, basically you have it marked out on the lawn, throw some spray paint down, something along those lines where everybody's 6 feet apart. You all have to wear a mask. I know it's going to be hot and miserable, but that's what you're going to have to do to adhere to their social distancing rules. And basically, if you don't adhere to them, I could see them throwing you out. So if you're in your spot, you're 6 feet apart from everybody, I could definitely see an outside venue bringing in a couple hundred people. But you're not going to be able to bring out those huge big bands. Your Blink-182, your Kiss, Green Day, just to name a few. You're not going to be able to do something like that where they can fill up the entire frigging place fairly easily. Because basically you would have to cut down the amount of people in there. Everybody's got to be 6 feet apart, and it's going to be a pain. Let's just put it this way. It can happen, but it's going to be a process before they figure out exactly how they are going to do it to keep everybody social distance, to make sure everybody's wearing a mask. And when you're dealing with a bunch of drunk idiots and high people at a concert, as I'm sure a lot of you know if you've ever been to a concert, trying to get them to wear a mask can be an issue. And obviously there might be some violence at play there too, so they're probably going to have to up security. But on a side note, it is good to see that people are trying to figure out something to do in the lockdown and get some new hobbies under their belt as well. My name is Steve Gray. This is Gray's Guitars. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.